Right, I'm here today with Jay, who had his house stolen off him the other day. Right, tell everyone what happened then, Jay.
Well, basically, I've been in speaking to the mortgage company, etc., via letters. I had a repossession order which they tried to enforce in March. The bailiffs called Northern Rock, who said that they would give me an opportunity to appeal against the repossession order. I have been trying to write to Northern Rock's solicitors. One's TTKW, who then passed it over to Walker Morris, requesting documents so I could put my appeal together. They haven't responded, haven't sent any of the documents. I in fact received a letter off them, I think it was the week before last, where they did not mention anything about going to get a writ, a High Court writ. In fact, they told me to get independent legal advice, etc. Tuesday morning, no warning, no nothing. I hear my dogs barking in my house and someone shouting out, "Hello, hello, hello." I've gone out there in a pair of shorts, and there's about 5 or 6, well, I don't know what you call them really, meatheads, steroid nuts, with all spots everywhere, you know, and droopy tits, and basically called the police. I called the police because the police weren't in attendance, so trying to stall them a bit so that I could get other people there to help me with the documentation, etc. Which the police arrived, and I asked them to make sure there was no breach of the peace. I was then assaulted by about 4 to 6 of them in my dining room, while 2 police stood in my house watching. I'm covered in bruises. I've been and had a doctor's report done. The police logged down all the injuries I had, and I've got all photographs and everything of bruises all over me. And while I was laying on the floor with all these goons on top of me, I was asking the police I was saying to them that they're assaulting me, you should stop this, they're arresting. And the police did absolutely nothing about it. It took 6 of them to pick me up, eventually to pick me up and to put me out. Basically, they just carried me outside my front door and dropped me out on outside my front door. Then they wouldn't let me anywhere near the house. As you can see on the other videos, I was right up the driveway, so a good 200-300 foot away from my house. Next thing I know, the police officers come up to me and said that one of the bailiffs have come to them and said there's something in the freezer, and he's found this package, and you know, have I seen it? You know, and I went, well, obviously didn't answer, just went no, never seen it before, didn't answer any more questions, and they carted me off to the police station until 6 o'clock at night when they released me.
But the funny thing about that is they say that they found it in the freezer, but it was unfrozen. So obviously, allegedly, shall we say, the bailiffs put it there to remove you from the house.
Yep, exactly that. Right, and also, well, basically, they wouldn't let me back in the house to collect any belongings or anything. So I was carted away and basically had what I was standing in. I've got a 16-year-old, or just turned 16-year-old son who's at school. They wouldn't let us back in to get any of his clothes, all his schoolwork's in there, his laptop to do all his coursework, etc. We've tried to ring them over the weekend and they're closed. Right, they've given me 7 days to get my stuff out, which will be on Tuesday. I spent all day Friday. I left Norwich at sort of 8:30 in the morning, and I went to the Royal Courts of Injustice down in the Strand. Filled out a statement, 3 remission forms, etc. They directed us towards to a court. I was with a guy who's a barrister called Adi Baiju or something, and we walked into these other people directors, which was the Queen's Bench, which is where the writ was taken from, and we walked in at 2 minutes past 4, and they said it's too late. We shut at 4 o'clock on a Friday. You can't see no one. The judge is gone. So we then messed around in there for about another half hour or so, trying to get someone. We went to the county court. We was directed to them. There was no one there. We was given an emergency number to call to try and get, because I'm putting in for an injunction to stop the actions, and because the barrister, the guy that was with me, was not a practicing barrister, even though he'd passed the bar or invited to the bar in 1980. So, you know, we're talking, 30 odd years as a barrister. The judge refused to talk to him. We called the number, we got some security bird or someone who's in the Royal Courts who called the judge, and she said, are you practicing? And because he said, no, I'm not practicing at the moment. He was doing it pro bono, basically trying to help me out. And she said, I don't think the judge will talk to you because you're not practicing. And about an hour later, she called back and said, he won't talk to you. So how can people get any sort of, you know, emergency thing, unless you're a barrister or a solicitor? You can't speak to no one, right? So I've now had to come. I got home at 12 o'clock that evening from London, and I've gained nothing from going down there and wasting all my time and day when I could have been doing other things, because we was 2 minutes after the 4 o'clock deadline when we was directed by someone at the court to a different courthouse. This is just ridiculous. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm going to try tomorrow to go to the Norwich County Court, because apparently they can hear High Court applications and etc. there. And I would like to put a little shout out now. If there's someone that's legally trained, legally trained, someone who knows what they're talking about, that can come in there with me. I've got everything. I've got me affidavit done. I've got me application done and all that sort of stuff. I just need someone that can actually talk to the judge, and if he comes back with certain things, I know how to respond to them. Because Tuesday, they'll be doing what they did with Tom Crawford, basically taking all the stuff out of my house and robbing half of it, and pretending that they haven't got it, and you know, all my jewellery is it, you know. And I'd like to also add that my wife passed away recently, or a few years ago, with a brain tumour, and you know, all her stuff's in there, all her jewellery, all her clothing, you know, and all the stuff that my kids have got of hers. It's all in the house. I've gone down there to try and see if there's any post, and they've got like sort of 6-8 security guards sitting there. My house is completely boarded up by metal, with metal stuff. They wouldn't even let me in my gate. I just can't believe this is going on.
With the little smart ass security, the bloke who actually owns the company, but won't tell us like the name of the company or anything, but this is his own security. He was offering you out for a row, wasn't he?
Well, he was trying. He thought he could anyway. Yeah. He
was trying to provoke a fight.
Yeah. Even though you know he's the one that had his hands around my throat and all that. Started trying to give it the big one that he was a cage fighter and all this whole malarkey, but he ain't nothing, mate. No. He's the one that had spots all around the back of his neck just to try and make himself look a bit bigger. He goes around steroiding himself up. Do you know what I mean? I don't need no steroids, mate, let me tell you. Right, and when he was one of the guys that had hold of me in my dining room, and I actually had all 4 of them pinned up against the wall, and I see fear in his eyes. So he ain't nothing. Right? Yeah.
He's an unbrave man, shall we say?
Well, he's brave when he's in numbers, and when there's police around. Yeah. And he tried to say to me, "I'll come and we'll sort it out now." When he had all his mates still there, the people that I think were working for him, they all had their cameras running. Yeah. Right, and he was trying to go, you know, so we'd have a little straightener. And we all know how it works. They instigate it. You come out on top, they ring the police. Yeah. Right, so they was basically trying to get me arrested again. Yeah. Right, and so I haven't been anywhere near the place anymore. They're all sitting down here with marquees and
basically having a party on your property.
On my property, and also it's going to be on my money as well, because the place, my house, has actually got equity. Right, so the mortgage company, the way they've carried on is absolutely disgusting. And I might also add that all the documentation was, from what I can work out, is fraudulent, because it was on the High Court writ was on what is called an NO66 form. I've been told that when you put the application in for this NO66, that it actually says on it that this should be used for trespassers only, and the "only" is underlined. Now, as of still today, I am on the land registry and registered as the registered keeper and owner of that property. So the writ that they used was the wrong writ. As far as I understand, I may be wrong, but I've been informed that that's what it is. And so they've used the wrong piece of paperwork. They had no EX96, no signed signatures or nothing from any judge, and basically, well, they've robbed my house. I've been burgled. Right, I've been assaulted. Right, and the police just stood by and did nothing. And in fact, helped them by taking me away with some substance that they claim was a controlled substance. Obviously, I can't verify that, because firstly, I don't know what it was, and secondly, they said they're going to destroy it, so how can I even check what it was? For all I know, it was baking powder. But they said it was amphetamine sulfate, speed, and stuff like that. But the police released me at about 6 o'clock that evening with NFA, no further action. And it stinks, mate. It all stinks, the whole lot of it. And you know, the only people that are turning up to do these things and help these people out like me, is Colin and Peter. They put a shout out because I called them straight away, and myself. I mean, we're the only 3 people in this area that seem to care about what other people was going on with other people and turn up on other people's doorsteps. And when we put shouts out to go and help other people, no one turns up. Right, and it just seems that there's like millions of keyboard warriors out there, but there's no one that wants to put their boots on and actually go and stand on the street and help people like us. Right, and I am one of them people, and I've been doing it. I've been going all over the country, and and it happens to me, and I've got 2 people turn up. Right, it's about time people wake up and what's going on, and start getting together and start fighting this. And I don't mean by getting weapons and doing that and going out and fighting, but get together, right, and start with these groups. Right, and start legally training themselves and finding out the way. It's all right saying, I'm free man of the land, this, that, and the other, but it doesn't work in the courts. It doesn't work in the courts. We have got to learn to use the same instruments that they use on us against them. Right? People have got to start waking up. And in fact, I tried to get start a law degree this year, but I couldn't get no funding. Right? No one would give me funding. Right, I'm actually signed off. I've got mental health issues because of the loss of my wife. Right, I'm a vulnerable adult. Right, I'm a single parent. Okay, I've got 2 children that I've been bringing up. Right, I am claiming benefits. Okay, but none of that mattered. Right, they come through my door. I asked them to leave. I told them they was trespassing. They wouldn't leave. Right, and followed me around my house for half hour. Even when I went into my toilet to have a wee, right, standing there with his foot in the door. What? Come on, right, what's happening in this country, eh? Hey, what's David Cameron going to start growing a little moustache or something underneath his nose? Hey, because this is what's happening, people. This country is turning into a Nazi state. Right, you don't get unless you've got money. Right, you don't get nowhere. Right, and when you do get money, right, and I was marching on a few years ago, and I had a nightclub taken off of me illegally. Right, I've had that court case thrown out of court because I couldn't raise the funds to put into the court in case I lost. When I've got a stone cold case and a multi-million-pound case, right, which was struck out of court in June, right, because I couldn't raise £10,000 to put in for a security of cost hearing thing if I lost the case, and the case got struck out. Right, this was in the High Court down. Well, it was in the county court down in the Strand, meant to be the highest court in the land, apart from the House of Lords, etc. Right, and the judge blatantly sat there and told me, when she was told that I was going to be repossessed and all that, she told me to assist the mortgage company to repossess, and if I had any money left over once they had sold my house, I could put the £10,000 into the court. Oh, and by the way, you've got 2 months to do it. Right, mate, the court system is absolutely a joke. Right, we've got to start doing something about it. These people sitting on them benches, half of them are just ex-solicitors, right, that get in it through shaking your hand in the right way. Okay? It's being run by all these people, all criminals. In the country. They're criminals, yeah.
Total criminals.
Yeah, and we've got to start taking it to their doorsteps. Right? All these people that are running these companies like Northern Rock and Bradford and all that, you know, with Tom Crawford's case and all that sort of stuff, we've got to start going to their front doors. These people that are MDs and CEOs of these companies, right, take it to their front door and see how they like it. Right, start putting some private prosecutions against them. Right, human rights acts, things like this. Right, because my human rights have been abused. Right. They use me like a bit of shit. They chuck me all over, you know. I'm covered in bruises. I feel like I've been in a car accident. I put a fight up, obviously. Not a fight. I resisted, right? Because I knew I was in the right. They are allowed to use, and it says they are allowed to use reasonable force. Right? Not 6 steroid, pumped up idiots jumping all over you, getting you out of your house, bruising you all over the place. Right, so you can't move your neck and your back's knackered and all that sort of stuff. Bruises all up and down my arms. It's absolutely disgusting. Right, now I will ask again, if there's someone out there, tomorrow I'm going to be at Norwich County Court, right, and asking to see the district, right, the district court. I'm going into the district court, which is a high court. Right, they can hear high court cases, and it should be a high court judge. So they are properly trained as judges, but I need someone that can come and help. Peter and Colin are going to be there, right? But when judges come out and start firing stuff at you, we're not legally trained, right? We know little bits and pieces, right? But you know and I know where you'll go back with an answer and they'll come back with something else. And if you don't know how to close them down, they're going to just say, no, we ain't going to do it.
Steamroll you.
Going to steamroll me, mate. Right, and I'm going to lose all my possessions. All my possessions, everything.
So just to reiterate that, anyone who is legally trained, who knows what's what, tomorrow, Norwich County Court, if anyone could show up, it'd be much appreciated. Alright?
This is wrong, mate. It's all wrong. Right. I'm not an arse. I've never done anyone any bad. If I can, I'll help anyone.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just disgusting. These solicitors like Walker Morris and all that just think they can sit behind a letter and take it to their doorsteps. Right, we've got to start taking it to their doorsteps so they know that if they start doing stuff like this, which is illegal, right, and it's affecting people like me and my children, my son didn't know nothing about what was going on because I kept it away from him because he just lost his mother, so I kept it away from him. That, you know, I'd been to court about repossession hearings and this, that and the other. Someone had to go and pick him up from school and say, you can't go home tonight, Jason.
You've got no home.
You got no home. There's all guards down there and it's all built, you know, there's metal shutters on everything. Right, you can't even go and get some clothes. My boy's walking around in one set of clothes since Tuesday. Right. It's disgusting. Right, and it's got to stop. Right, so someone please, if you can do it, get hold of Colin. Right, Colin will pass my phone number on to you. Right, I will speak to you. I will need to get down there tomorrow. I need to be down there. I will be down there. I would think by about 10, 11 o'clock. Right, because I'm not missing it again by 2. I spent all day in London on Friday. 2 minutes I missed it by. And it's disgusting that you can't get and speak to an emergency judge. How are you meant to get an emergency injunction if you're not a solicitor or a barrister? Say they're coming to take your kids away, eh? They're coming to take your kids and you need an emergency injunction and you go there and you get this number. If you're not legally trained, you can't speak to the man. What sort of country are we living in? Eh?
Money talks.
We're talking 1930s Germany. Yeah, that's what we're talking. Let me tell you.
Right.
Thank you for listening. But please, people, come on, someone give me an hand, eh? Because I'm in proper trouble.
He needs your help.
Come on, please.
Right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank
Right.
you, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
Alright? Anyone can help. Get down there. Cheers. What actually happened?
I was in bed and I heard, mate, hello, there's someone here. Got up and there was about 4 of them, 5 of them standing in the front room. I wasn't dressed, obviously.
So they just let themselves in?
Yeah. Doors open, wasn't it? Because Jace went to school this morning.
So it was unlocked, but it wasn't open?
It was unlocked, yeah, but it wasn't
So
open.
it was closed, the door was closed, and they just walked in?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's about 5 of them in the front room. Just kept telling me to get dressed if I want to get any clothing and that. I've obviously called you, I was trying to stall them. Because I needed to find some bits and pieces, paperwork and that. And then eventually they forcibly removed me.
And
took 4 of them.
Well, they actually assaulted you?
Yeah,
And
one
that
of them
was-
had their hands around my throat. One of the other guys said, let go of his throat. It's on film, they filmed it all.
Okay.
Right,
We'll put in for that film.
Yeah, right. So they assaulted me. I was rolling around the floor with them. The police just stood there. I was saying to the police that this is an assault. I want you to arrest them. The police totally ignored me. Said they was here just to stop a breach of the peace.
Right, I'm going to get... I think they're coming to me. Well, they're arresting him. They're arresting you, Jay. They're arresting you.
Hey?
For what, Jay? What are you arresting him for, mate?
You have to speak to Jason about that later.
Well, I'm trying to, but...
What are they arresting you for?
What? Controlled substance. What controlled substance? So they went in your house purposely to search, right? No warrant, no nothing. Yeah? And they're trying to nick you for something that was in there. Do you have any knowledge of that? No. It's funny, isn't it? Funny how they walk in there and come out with, oh, we found a controlled substance.
In the freezer.
In the freezer?
Yeah.
That's convenient for them, wasn't it?
So are they going to, they're going to arrest you? Where are they taking you?
It's just a bum nicking so they can get him away from you.
Phone me, all right? Phone me as soon as you can, all right? Keep it together, mate. You'll be all right.
Well, there you go, people on YouTube. Our friendly local bobbies doing what they do best, stitching people up.
What? What's he say?
I can't hear it.
Stick with Anna, make sure she's alright. I'll take you to Wyndham.
I'll take her around mine. All right?
Try and stay with the local, because I'll take you to a place.
Where? Wyndham? Listen, Jace,
Shout, please.
give us a ring when you bail. I'll come and pick you up. Anna, come here, darling.
Right, they're now taking Jay away because they reckon they found something. So they were illegally searching his house. No warrant, no nothing. Well, this is the trouble. Do you know he's got children, mate? Hey?
Well, he's booked in. We can speak to the custody sergeant. If there's any issues, we'll discuss that with the custody sergeant.
Look, breaking people's hearts. and they think it's all clever. They love it. They go home and tell their wives and that they've had a great job today. They went and evicted someone. Are you proud of yourself, boys? You all get a Blue Peter badge for this, and a pat on the back from the BBC. See you later, Jay. Give us a ring. Think it's funny, dear? I just caught her laughing. She thought it was a big joke. Come, we have to get her out. Get her. We have to take her away now. Come on.
Listen, jump in the passenger seat. Jump in the passenger seat, you can. Jump in the passenger seat. Come on.
Well done, boys.
To get some
Well done, boys. Hope you're bloody proud of yourself. Well done. And you, we'll meet again, maggot.
No.
What about the cat?